helps if you turn it. Talk to the back.
Really? This way, and so the green is out?
It worked better for me last time.
See if you can hear yourself too.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
A little closer.
Testing 1, 2. So last night when I spoke at the hearing, some people said they couldn't hear me, but here.
You were holding the button.
I might have been.
Right.
Oh, so if the green is away from me, all right.
Well, you don't have to touch the button once you turn it green.
That, okay, so I might have been also holding that.
Yeah, I think you were, Mike. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Traffic training. I was interested when we did other things to talk about traffic training, mic training. Okay, so this is the Historic District Commission meeting, our second meeting for the month of September. It is 7:04, and we'll take attendance. So I'm Virginia Morse, the vice chair.
Madeline Willett, member.
Good. Critical correspondence or minutes or town board. Right, we've done that once already. Two applications we have tonight. But before and some angst over whether HDC had negative. I mentioned that tonight. Happy to in a second meeting for September. So then, and that's the way we function. We're town friendly. So I did it right, because they came and he and Lori came and talked to us about their window and door plans, and so for that and move on for a vote one way or the other. So now you hear, grab it, turn it on, face the green away from you, and we'll be able to hear who you are and what you're doing.
All, thanks for meeting again. This is Dan Swed. I'm from 157 Main Street. And as you've said, we have an application to take out one sliding glass door and add another door and a set of windows in what is our kitchen.
So our questions were, what's the door? I sent that around to board members so you could see that. I'd like to apologize for continuing to say jalousied windows when they were really casement windows. Jalousied windows go this way. You're doing casement windows going this way. But you sent pictures of what they would look like, what the trim will look like all the way. And I have, no, these are the ones that we had from before, but I can give them back to you and you can ask any questions you have. These are the ones.
The new elevation so you can see it better.
Yes, so go ahead. I did not make copies of what you sent to us. Did you?
So you have the one pack. I asked the young lady if she was going to make copies, so I just did bring the one copy. Do you have the one copy with you?
I took a pic, so it's on my phone if you want to look at it.
So where would that one copy be?
Over to the young lady who I was told to downstairs. She answers. She's at the booth. I don't know her name.
So it, you know what? It might even be in my mailbox that I. Or comments.
I see a set of three, and the single door, so they line up fine. It's obviously over a sink. The trim looks great. Would you consider doing mullions to match the rest?
No, it wouldn't match. It would fill the window. The windows are entirely too small. So the bullion detail would be out of proportion.
Well, I wouldn't. Two by.
I've actually installed this exact window before with mullions, and you can't see out. It blocks the entire thing. It's too small. So for this, I would not consider that.
I'm just happy you're getting rid of the sliding glass door. Okay. I mean, it just aesthetically, my personal opinion is what he is going to do compared to what he's got now makes me very happy, because it just, I don't know, the sliding glass door, every time I drive by, I walk by it every day and I look at it and I'm like, that just for some reason doesn't look right.
Yeah, it's got to go for sure.
And I like that the trim matches, and that kind of works for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glenn Cobb couldn't be here tonight because he's got another commitment, but he did email me and say that he about the mullions, as long as that trim was as shown.
Yeah, it'll be.
I think it looks like something that would enhance the appearance of the deck.
Stanley, you got to push that darn button. You got to push the button and then speak right in there when it's green. Okay, there you go.
I think it would enhance the appearance of the deck, and I think the 6-foot sliding glass door is too wide. A 3-foot would be just right for that, the dimensions of that deck. And then, of course, on the side, there would be the windows, the casement windows. Would that be okay with the other windows that are 6 by 6, or they wouldn't clash with that? I think it's just...
So I think that's one of the was asking about putting mullions or dividers in. Dan was saying that makes the view blocked. You can't really see out of that. And if you look all the way around the house, there are some mullions and there are some non-mullions. And although that, for me, although that side of the house can be seen by the road, it's certainly not the feature from the front. So personally, I'm okay with it without the mullions.
So I agree with your interpretation at other locations on the house for sure. I would not propose anything except exact match anywhere else. I also wouldn't move any of the other ones. When I do restore the one you were complaining about, I don't, unless I get photographs of what it looked like, I would probably end up putting in identical to the historical windows. So on the front two houses, I wouldn't want to mess with anything except that same window at the same grade. Back there with a deck that doesn't belong past the main two houses, I think it's the right fit.
So much better, in my opinion.
Dan, I'm sorry that I didn't realize this was in the mailbox. I
thank you.
came the other day, but I didn't get it. Okay, so now we can Now we can see what Maddie was
see.
seeing online.
I myself in historical, I have those same windows coming in the driveway, and in all, when you pull, you kind of don't even notice them. They kind of blend in a weird way to all the other windows that I have with the mullions.
Well, I would say it's you can see them, but it's not like, it's not the front. It's, I think the fact that the trim matches and you're getting rid of it is a big plus.
If you, and that's what,
Yeah, and it, so,
And the door doesn't have mullions, if you will, and the windows, and then the windows in the basement, they're open, if you will. So I'm satisfied with the appearance of that. Looks really good. Thank you, Adam, for the copies.
thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
So, any other questions?
So the door won't have the divides in it then either?
No, correct.
Does it come with the divides? Can you
It's
get that?
available, the door is.
It's gonna have one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it is. No, it's manual operate on the inside. No. That way we don't have to see the trash heap next door, which is currently being cleaned up.
Yeah, they're hauling a lot out of that place, huh?
Every weekend, there's
Yeah,
about 5 guys and a new dumpster full. They're on dumpster 4 from my count. It's looking good, though.
So if there are no other questions or comments, I'm ready for a motion.
Do we have to do public comment? Just, do we have to ask for that? I'm just wondering procedure. Not that I think we have any, but
Thank you. Is there any public comment? We have two pieces of public here, but they don't seem to want to comment, so thank you. Thank you, Rob. Right. Is there
So-
someone ready to make a motion?
I will make a motion to accept the application as presented.
That's Madeline Willett. Is there a second?
second?
Rob is a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye. There,
Fantastic, thank you.
I'm the person who writes up those certificates. That'll come your way, and one copy goes, I'm gonna do it this way, too. One copy goes to the, you know, you need, one other thing, Dan, that came to mind, house on the corner, I call it the Alberts house, several owners have owned it since then, some windows work and all, and I was reminded to remind you that old houses do, and that it's not our purview to oversee the proper care for lead paint disposal, but just to remind you that that is your responsibility. And I don't know how much you will disturb when you do the door and window, but just to remind you that it's an old house and there is lead paint.
Certified all the way up to fire chief. I can remove any of the hazardous materials this town has.
Excellent, excellent. And you know, people do call us up and say, did you know someone is doing this on that house, and what about lead paint? And it's not our purview or responsibility, but it's good to remind homeowners.
Much appreciated, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, good night. The copy will be to the inspector and to you. I'll mail one to you as well. Okay.
Put them side by side. It's, put them side by side. It's so much better. I don't know why that bugged me, but every now and then it bugs me.
Because it's like a huge void, double huge void. But I think the balustrades and the porch kind of hide the door, not having them, so it's that part.
Okay, so now we're happy to have a second applicant on a second meeting in the month of September. So this is Michael, and you'll have to help us with pronouncing your last name correctly. This is my day. Mar. Thank you. Thank you. So
I only made one copy. We'll pass it around.
it's fine. It's fine. So Michael, sit down, turn your button, push your button so it looks green, and tell us your name and your address and what your project is.
My name is Michael Marr. I live at 181 Main Street, and I want to put gutters on the house.
Okay. So your house has a really unique design here in the town of Kingston. So welcome to Kingston. How long have you owned the house?
I've owned it for a year.
Just 1 year. Okay.
My wife was Donna Battis. I don't know if you guys knew her. Yeah.
I know the name Battis. I don't know that I know Donna, but go ahead.
Donna was on the fire department, and she's
Yes.
the local. She brought me to town, and unfortunately, she passed away in January. So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
thank you.
Sorry to hear that.
She's the local. I don't know anybody. Just
Well, you've got a lot of neighbors here and here and here and here and here and there. So, welcome to town. So that house, I looked up some of the history of it, and that's a very unique house. It's got an almost twin right next door.
yes.
But yours has been carefully and historically renovated.
Very much
So the couple that owned it worked very hard to bring it back to our original detail, original colors. It's quite colorful compared to the white clapboards that you see up and down Main Street. And the design of it is quite unique. So you have a challenge to put gutters on. And all of us who own old houses know gutters are important. And so your goal is to put gutters, and I saw your write-up, not to pour water onto your neighbor's property. And so I'd like, so this is coming around. Where is it you would like to put the gutters?
Currently, all around the trim. So on the trim.
All four sides?
Yes.
Okay.
Currently, it's fallen off the house, and on the driveway side, it's deteriorating the brick foundation. The brick foundation looks like it needs to be repointed. It's seeping down into the basement, and the basement is damp and I would say moldy, but mildewy. It has a partial dirt floor that's always damp and wet. The doors, the trim on all the doors are rotting. The deck is rotting. The wherever it splashes down, it hits the house. So the back slider is needs to be replaced. It's rotted. The door in the garage, where it comes down the garage, is rotted. The deck is rotted. So all this stuff was new, and it's rotting away.
I would suggest when you do gutters, trench them into the ground and have it run right to the back of your property to keep it, because even if you gutter it down, you're putting it in one area.
Yeah.
And it will just pour right into your basement.
Yeah, so
We trenched ours and shot it right out.
So I have, he did put gravel along the foundation on the yard side, and then he framed that with like some marble brick stuff. Yeah. Now between my neighbor's house and my house is kind of like this. So, and then that flows backwards to the back of the property. So the idea was, at least in the front, I think, to bring it into the grass, the back, point it out to the back. On the garage, I was gonna bring it down, and then eventually, there's some patio blocks there, I was gonna put it underground. And right off the patio, it drops down. I figure, well, put it underneath the patio and just have it go out the backyard. Not right away though, because I'm gonna have to do this one. But in the spring.
Gutter's gonna be a K-style gutter?
I'm sorry?
Are they K gutters? The standard profile?
Yeah, I believe he said K gutters. I think the quote is on the back.
And are those for 5-inch or 6-inch gutters that you're doing?
Does it say?
Okay.
Sorry, Dan, I didn't either hear or understand your question. What are you asking?
I asked them if they were K-style gutters, which are your standard profile gutters, or if they're gonna be, you know, architectural gutters or whatever, and then I was curious to know if they were 5 or 6-inch gutters. Because 6-inch gutters are the big commercial ones, and 5-inch are your residential ones. And he's got a lot of roof line there, so I didn't know if you were upgrading to a 6-inch gutter just to,
I wasn't upgraded.
okay.
So it's probably
So 5-inch K.
K gutters.
Okay, thank you.
I see that both are listed here. All right, I see that both are listed here. It doesn't say which residential K-style, 6 is commercial K-style. So I assume it would be residential?
Residential.
Yeah, 6-inch gutters I use on homes also. That's what I put on my home, or 6-inch gutters.
Okay. And these are going to be white?
Yes.
And I'll pass this on to you, Maddie, in a minute, but it looks as if you're going to, so the corner board is white. Are you going to come down that corner board or beside the corner board?
You're talking about in the corners where he's kind of dropping off of the top roof to the bottom roof?
Yes.
Yeah, so I kind of understood it to kind of follow the trim.
Not over the trim, but beside the trim?
Can I take a look?
Yes, please do. My question is, here's the white trim board.
Yeah.
Would it come down beside the trim board, or is it coming right down the trim board?
Not the side, I'd want it on the white.
Right down the trim board?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to see it, I mean, I just thought, just follow the
From
trim.
front gutter to second front.
So,
He has so many roof lines that it's tricky to gather this water.
I started coloring it, I colored it first, and then and then it got
Yes.
treated. But,
Okay, so here you go, Maddie, thank you. So he's got a roof line like this, then he's got a roof line like this, then he's got a space, and then he's got another roof line. So that's a lot of complex water gathering.
Right. Oh, he's a good gutter guy, because he's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah,
yeah, he's been doing it for 20 years, I don't know.
Looks like. Yeah, that's exciting. Good for you.
I don't
So-
know that much about gutters.
That rainwater,
Yes, that rainwater's,
make it go away, and that's the best way to do it.
well, you certainly got a challenge to see where the rainwater went this year, didn't you?
I did, yeah, that was,
So the couple that owned it before really worked hard to rebuild and repaint and make it match what it used to be. I have a little description of that here. But perhaps they didn't deal with gutters and
He put
water.
gutters on, so there are some existing gutters, one side of the garage, garage, facing the school, and then the back, he just has, gutters there, but that's all, that's, the gutters,
So there's lots of edges to catch water to rot.
yeah.
So I like the gutter going down the side trim white post because it kind of hides it. Doesn't have this plus another gutter running down, which to me would spoil the face of the building.
Yeah, I'd like to hide it myself.
Yes,
I don't wanna see it.
yes.
And
Okay,
that's what they did on your garage, they put it right down the trim board.
yes,
That's what they've done.
down the trim board. Okay. And then your plan is eventually to make it all go towards the back of the property.
Yeah, cause there's between our two houses, and it is, kind of landscape to the back, so I figured it'd go that way,
Okay?
yes.
Anyone have any other comments, like to look at this again? Go ahead, Stanley. Push. So it's green, go there.
So absent-minded. I used to live on 183 Main Street, and the building next to me was 181, and they both had mansard sides,
Yes.
and they're very steep. I remember that rain would come down like Niagara Falls, and I think it needs a special type of gutter system for that water to drain off the roof adequately, without making a huge puddle in front of the building. It have to be diverted towards the back in some way, shape, or manner.
So that is what Michael is saying, that he plans to have it come down and diverted to the back of the property.
Well, it's gonna be quite an engineering job,
Yes,
the way this water runs.
yes.
I had trouble myself with my building before the new road was built called East Way, moved to the back of the property. But I can understand his situation because I was confronted with the same problem.
Wasn't it just Monday? Monday it wouldn't stop raining. It's never ending this summer. Whole year.
Mine slopes in the back to one center section.
Yeah.
It's a waterfall, and it has been also.
All summer, all summer. And I'm kind of nervous that if you don't get it taken care of when you first put them in, that you're gonna flood your basement with just everything coming down right away and just putting it all right in that,
So-
how many?
When you say, there's like, 3 downspouts.
Yeah.
There's one downspout on the garage,
Yes.
which seems, kind of straightforward, and that's kind of back, away from the foundation. The one in the back corner, pretty much, I was just kind of thinking of just turning it towards that direction.
Yeah, yeah.
And the one in the front, I wasn't thinking I was gonna route it anywhere. I thought the water would just go that way. Are you guys suggesting I need to like bring it?
Well, we did because it was going into our basement.
Right.
So, because we had the same thing, we had a dirt basement and it would just turn into a pool.
Right.
So we've dug trenches with the pipe with the holes on the top.
Right.
And then put the crushed stone on top, so it diverts it far away.
Yeah, the front corner, I was thinking about just bringing it down where kind of like the property's like this and it
Yeah.
slopes that way.
Right.
I was just gonna go there. The back will also be in kind of that, but I'll just turn it that way.
Right. Well, you'll find out after the first rain.
Yep.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it gets worse or better. Yeah.
So thank you for this, Michael, because that is very helpful. And I also see, since I've got the Jim Peck estimate here, it's an expensive undertaking.
I know, I was a little shocked myself.
But it's better than having your basement full of water and all the work that's been done there rotting.
I mean, it is quite a project. You know what I mean? You can slap gutters up on a house, but your house, oh no.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
It's a tough one.
but well worth it.
It's no really done.
And
I
you
got
don't,
fans.
you don't want that.
No, I got fans going down there right now. I got fans and dehumidifiers going pretty much nonstop.
I think, do we all have sump pumps in the basement?
I am truly
Really?
Mine doesn't build up. There's no standing water. It's just damp.
Yes,
I
yeah,
mean, and the dirt is just wet dirt.
yes.
So my house is older than the two houses on either side of me, and mine's right smack on the surface, whereas the house beside me is up on a berm. So just today, I was transferring and putting fall flowers on the front stoop and saw that my sump pump has been running. So with the rain that we have, and my house sits right down, the water just runs through my cellar. And in September, August and September, my sump pump has been running.
Which is not normal for you, yeah.
And so we deal with water and moisture and trying to prevent mildew all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Well, another thing to consider is the topography of the land.
Yes,
I
yes.
think the benchmark's like 131 feet above sea level. And then it goes lower and lower as you go away from Main Street. So if you can take advantage of the way the land slopes in back of your house, maybe you bury that pipe and
Right.
have a dry well or something. Then, you know, water seeks its own level. So you won't have that water problem in your cellar.
Yeah, you know,
Because
that's
the
funny.
topography, working with gravity would make the water go to the lowest level.
Right. I have, well, you just said a well. I have, there's an additional well on the property underneath my deck. It's like a hand dug well. What's that called? Artesian? Which one's which?
done well.
No, a
So
dug
it's like a
well,
dug
yes.
well. And I never thought of it, but I'd have to stick in the water in there. 'Cause I don't know.
No, it's gonna come right. The farther away you can get it, the better. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's one I'm convinced that sump pump's run. When I walk around Clark's, I love him. I'm like, I think the sewer drain's clogged up out there, and his sump pumps run all day long. I'm convinced it drops right in there, goes right back into the basement, comes right back out.
We connected our gutters to the pipes underneath our basement, and we did do that and flooded our basement. We kept pumping it out, and it was coming right back in, and we're like, what is going on? So we unhooked that, so now it goes out completely.
That happened to us. We pumped it into the backyard and, oh, look, it's gone. Oh, wait a minute, it's back in my cellar. So that happens a lot.
Some really nice person jacked my house up, poured a foundation, put a French drain system.
Nice, yes.
Good for you.
We looked at that house, and I'm like, all right, time to go in the basement, because it's always different.
Right, yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, that's
What is
good.
this?
Right,
Like you, dry as a bone.
that's great. Well, I think this is a good plan. Take a vote. I'd like to read you a little bit about the history of your house. Would you like to hear it?
Okay, I know a little bit about it. I was gonna tell you after, but.
Oh, no, tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. That's good.
It's I read all about it when I first moved in the house. I researched a little bit, and the Reverend used to live there that gave the commemoration speech for the library, and he used to that used to be his house, Reverend somebody or another.
I'll tell you. Patton, P-A-T-T-E-N. Reverend W.A. Patton, yes.
And was he part of this church too, or just?
He did not preach in Kingston. Okay, so I'm going to read this because it's so interesting. The Evans house, every house in the town has somebody else's name on it. When you're dead and gone, 100 years later, they'll talk about your name as that was your house. You never live in it. He doesn't live in Dan Doyle's house. He lives in the Bartlett house. It happens. That's the way it goes. The Evans house is a 1.5-story mansard-style house of the late 19th century. The center entry has a 4-door with 4 lights flanked by pillars rising to a full entablature. On each side of the entrance is a 1-story flat-roofed bay window. The main entry and bay windows now constitute an enclosed porch. Above the entry is a large gabled roof wall dormer, hanging eaves and gable and returns. 8 gable roof dormers with bracketed surrounds have been set into a mansard roof. The lower roof line has projecting eaves with brackets and ornamental drop pendants. All of the windows are 2/2 with projecting caps and decoratively cut surrounds. The structure rests on a brick foundation. I would like to see an architect try to draw a picture of that from that description. It's so complex. It's one of a on the east side of Main Street and one of only 3 of this style in the entire town. The 1856 and 1892 maps show this property belonged to Reverend W.A. Patton. 1856 is a very early date for the mansard style to have been built in Kingston. Therefore, the house may have been remodeled to this style by Reverend Patton at a later date. Its relationship to its neighbor, Site 47, that would be the Menendez next door to you, is clear, though the reason is unknown as of this writing. Historic associations. The Reverend Patton, who never preached in Kingston, owned the house for many years and remodeled it from its previously unknown style into a mansard style. He lived there until his death in 1906, when he willed it to the Congregational Church in Kingston. It was used as the parsonage until 1949, when it was sold for $5,000. So I thought you might enjoy a piece of that history. So, are there other comments, pieces of advice, questions for Michael? If not, I'm ready for a motion.
I will make a motion to application as is.
That's Maddie. Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, Stanley has a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. So, Michael, here's the process. I'm the person who writes up the certificate of approval. I will do that ASAP, maybe tomorrow. I mail it to you. And is 181 Main Street your mailing address? You get mail there, okay? And then I also send a copy to the building inspector. I assume that you need a building permit to work on your house. That means you need to go to the town hall and tell the building inspector, this is my plan. He will have a copy of what you've given me because I send that to him, and then you can get started.
Okay, so see the building inspector after I
Yes.
get your letter.
Yes. So, hold on a second. What's his best bet? Our building inspector is part-time now, and Dan's been challenged by trying to get permits as well because of the limited time our building inspector works. What's his best bet, Dan? Can you help him? Okay.
It'll take a little bit of time.
So he leaves his paperwork there, even if the building inspector isn't there, he leaves it at the window in the selectman's office?
Yeah, that'll work, because the contractor should, are you pulling the permit or is the contractor? No, so the contractor. Do they need a permit for gutters? I don't think you need one for gutters. I don't think so.
But he'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either, but it's smart to go and ask. And the woman at the window, when you go into the selectman's office, a big glass window there, Tori is her name, and she'll tell you, she'll give you some good guidance, I would think.
If you don't get a permit, then you're good to go.
Yes. Yes. But the permit from us, the certificate of approval from HDC that, yes, this is okay, and it has been approved by Glenn Greenwood, by the way. I have a signed copy saying this is permitted in HDC. That's the new process, so you're okay there. So take your paperwork and good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Take care.
I'm sorry?
When I talked to you, I thought you were putting your boat away or something.
It didn't sink. It rained through, we have a camp on Level Lake, sort of parallel to Winnipesaukee, but on the main side. It rained 3 inches. So my husband said there was about 3 inches of freeboard, and he pumped it out, and that was all good. It didn't sink.
That's good.
That's all good.
I went and checked on my boat after the hurricane, and it turned out to be a beautiful day.
It did. The wind was a bit of a poof, and there wasn't that much rain for the hurricane. It was yesterday's rain that was the big deal.
Crazy.
Very good. Yes.
It just never ended.
Okay, good night, thank you.
Good night, nice to meet you.
That's the business we needed to do tonight. So. Oh, you've done your homework. If you have done your homework, I've got the checklist right here. All right. Okay. Excellent. Pass that down the way, and I'm gonna check you off. He gets a star for getting his homework done. Okay, I didn't do my homework either, so good for you.
I've got one too.
Did you do your homework?
I only have one, I didn't do them both.
Okay.
Hold on. This was 182 Massachusetts.
Maddie. Okay, thank you. Thank you, that's good. Checking it out. All right, now, folks, it's 7:45, is that right?
Not bad.
7:46? What do you say? Motion to adjourn at 7:46. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank